All right, Brantley here with GenAIPI. Again, we are going to go into another piece that we need to do here for the prerequisite to be able to install our OpenClaw on the Hetzner virtual machine. And that is going to be, we need a Hetzner Cloud account. That's where we're going to spin up the virtual machine. And so, just like the SSH key, I want to tell you guys that this is the process you should use for anything that you're unsure of how to do or doing. You don't necessarily have to go find YouTube videos anymore or Google how to do things. We can talk to an AI agent and have it walk us through things very simply in the format that we need. Yes, I've done this. I do have software as a background, and I know what this is talking about. But if I wasn't, I guarantee you I could still do the same thing just by using the tools that I'm showing you here. So we're going to go back into ChatGPT, because now since we have that SSH key, let's go back into ChatGPT. And whoops, we don't need to launch our server yet. We just want to get back into that conversation with ChatGPT that helped you do the SSH key. If you have it, then we're going to say, hey, I want to use this SSH key for a Hetzner VM virtual machine. I'll write it out. Walk me through this. Okay, let's see what it says. Again, guys, we need to leverage AI to help us through these things, and I'm giving you the tools to be able, if you run into a roadblock that's not covered, I'm trying to cover as much as I can on this tutorial. There are a lot of other ways you can secure your virtual machine. SSH is just the first step at securing it to make sure that nobody else can get in unless they have that key file that you now have. There are other ways to secure your virtual machine, and I can't go through every single one of them in this one tutorial. It would take us forever. Or the different ones, I guess I should say, because there's so many options and abilities to do that. But this is, I'm kind of allowing you to unlock, hey, I can ask questions too in plain English, and I can follow a step-by-step guide from AI. So, yes, copy your public key. If you haven't already, you should have already copied your public key from the previous part of this tutorial where we created the SSH key. And again, you can use this same command to get back to that if you can't remember. Make sure to replace this with the name of your actual key if you changed it. If you didn't change it and you use the default, that's going to be the name right there. The one long line, you're going to copy it. And now you got to go to your Hetzner Cloud account that hopefully you've created in preparation for this. If not, just quickly go create it. So if you haven't created your Hetzner account, you can click this link, go create an account. You're going to have to add some billing because it does cost about $5 to $10 a month to run a very small virtual machine. OpenClaw can run on the smallest virtual machine they have, and that's the one I'm going to show you guys, or recommend you use to use out of the gate. If you think you need a more powerful virtual machine, then choose the option that's more powerful if you would wish. You can talk to ChatGPT about it and get into the details, the nitty-gritty. They have a lot of options, and we're not going to go through every single one. The one that this tutorial is going to recommend is actually the CX22 that has 2 virtual CPUs, 4 gigabytes of RAM, and it runs on Ubuntu 24.04. And so, so you're going to go there. You're going to create your account, and so I've already created my account. Obviously, I have this test project. You're going to have to start a new project. Go ahead and create a new project. You should have a button or wherever it's at, new project right there. I have a test project, and this is what you're going to open up to your dashboard. And you're going to want to create a resource. You're going to want to create a server because that's our virtual machine. It's technically a server. So we're going to click that. And now you're going to go through and you have your cost optimized version. You can screenshot this and share it to ChatGPT and say, hey, what's the best for my use case? I want to use my OpenClaw to do XYZ. Well, how much power do I need to give it? So you can talk and kind of think through that. You can click cost optimized, and then you're going to have that CX, or maybe it's the regular, yeah. Because what are we recommending here? The CX22. And so you have the CX22, CPX22 here. They may have changed their name. Or maybe it's the CX23 now. Anyways, the cheapest one is $3.49 a month. I mean, you can totally afford that. It's going to run 24/7. And this will at least get you installed on it. It's got 40 gigabytes of storage space, 4 gigabytes of RAM, and 2 CPUs. And so, you can also do in different versions. You have your regular performance as well, which is your 80 gigabytes, so the $7 a month. The CPX22, I think, is what we want to do. Actually, at this point, so my information from my tutorials must have been a little outdated. So CPX22 would be the one that we're kind of saying you can start off. It's $7 a month. Great. You're going to pick the location nearest you. They have different locations. If you're on the West Coast, you're going to want to use Oregon. If you're on the East Coast, you're going to want to use Virginia. Little things like that. ChatGPT, again, can walk you through all of these selections, so we don't really need to go through each and every single one. The main thing I want to show you is that you do want to use Ubuntu as your running operating system. So make sure that that's part of it. 2404 is the latest one, so that's fine. And you're going to want to leave everything else really default. You don't really need to get too deep into this. Here's, you can see here on the right-hand side, I have this little exclamation point with SSH keys. You guessed it. We need to go here, and we need to add an SSH key. And, we can go back to our thing here. Fill in the name. So you're going to have you're going to go to SSH key, just like I showed you. You're going to click here. It's going to bring you here after you've kind of selected everything up above and made it the way you want it to be. What's going to work for you. You can talk to ChatGPT about all these other options as well. Firewall is a great thing to use. Firewalls are great to secure your virtual network, your virtual machine. So all of that can be explained by ChatGPT, and you can pick out and you can get as crazy as you want to get. I'm showing you the bare minimum basically to get this up and running and as safe as you need it right now, just to kind of play with it. So you're going to say add an SSH key. It's going to ask you, okay, what's the key? What's the name of this key? And do you want to set it as a default? So let's go back to our tutorial. So you're going to fill in, the name's going to be anything you want. Obviously, the SSH key is going to be paste your copied key. So that key that you copied from your terminal, you are going to paste it here. And I don't think I saved the paste. I think it might already be gone now from my pasting. But you're going to paste that key right here, verbatim. And then you're going to name it, whatever you want. That's the name of my computer. So you can name it your computer so you just know what it is. So you can say like your Windows computer or whatever. And then you're going to set it as default. And you can see what this means here. Select one or more SSH keys as the default. These are automatically pre-selected when a new server is created. So if you want to use that same key and you have multiple servers that you create, you can have it as a default key, which is useful if you're going to open up multiple servers, maybe multiple virtual machines, and want to get in there quick and easy and have an SSH key already ready to go. And you can have multiple OpenClaws running, different OpenClaws working with each other. So you can do that, and then you're going to say add a SSH key. I'm not going to do it. I already have my virtual machine. So after you've run through setting all of this up and you name it, you can name your server whatever you want. We named ours Jarvis, of course. Something to do with Jarvis. And so you can name your server. This is going to be your virtual machine name, not your OpenClaw name. This has nothing to do with OpenClaw yet. Our virtual machine is the computer that is going to run 24/7 in the cloud. So even if we have a power outage, it's still going to be running in the internet. And we're going to then install OpenClaw on the virtual machine. That is how we're going to do this here. Yes, there's other ways to install OpenClaw on local machines. That's not in this tutorial, but you can ask ChatGPT if you would like. We are going to create more tutorials about different ways to set up your OpenClaw, whether local, virtual machine, the two different options. And so, you're going to create, and by now, you're going to create your server. It's going to get up and running. It's probably going to ask you a few more questions. Follow the guide in ChatGPT to kind of finish that off. And then you're going to have your virtual machine up and running, and you're going to be able to access that virtual machine through the console of that virtual machine. And we're going to you start using that to install OpenClaw and everything like that.